I'm Laura, I'm 34, and when I was 31 weeks pregnant, I had a stroke. It was a normal day. I went home and my speech was going down. It's really weird. I can't remember 3 days. I just woke up here in Southampton Hospital, and I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk. And the first thing I saw was Lisa, who was my consultant from the maternity ward. And because we thought she was going to be born in 34 weeks, when my second op was going to happen, obviously Cadence would be in the maternity ward, and they were hopefully going to put me in there as well. As you know, when a baby is born, you want to be with your baby the whole time, with feeding, cuddles, things like that, and making sure that I was going to be with her. That was amazing for me because I was so worried about that, and that's why it's very, very important to be with your baby, basically. I would be awful if we were not together, with the bonding and things like that. When I was in the hospital, I had 2 operations with my brain. And again, every time we didn't know whether I was going to wake up with a baby. After the second operation, we decided to say that she was hopefully still inside my tummy until 39 weeks. I was allowed to do a more normal birth, but I wanted to have a C-section after everything that happened, and Lisa sorted that out, basically. She was like, whatever you want to do, you can do it, that's no problem. And after 2 days with her, I was able to go home with her, so it was really good. And she's a little miracle, aren't you? We're very lucky to have them looking after us, and thank you for everything, basically. I can never say thank you enough.
My name is Shakira. I'm an ITU nurse and I'm from Bournemouth. I've got dilated cardiomyopathy, and then when I had my son, it damaged my heart further. And then having my second baby then put me into heart failure. So they asked me to come in at 36 weeks and I stayed on a cardiac ward. They started ramping up my meds and trying to shift a lot of fluid. After a week, we would then go for a C-section. Being an intensive care nurse, I knew the rules. No children would have been allowed on the unit. I knew that I was going to the intensive care unit, so Vitalia, they said that it should be taken straight away. So it was just, well, how long are you going to keep me there? And I know they can't answer all of them questions, but it was as soon as I was off the blood pressure support, then I would then be stepped down. But it was more just wanting to just return home really as quick as possible. The sister actually let her stay overnight. So I actually got to spend the whole night with her, and then in the morning she got kicked off the unit. But it just made a massive difference. It really did. And then as soon as she had gone, that's when my meltdown and the emotions kicked in. And that's when I was like, I need to leave. I'm self-discharging because it's just that bond. It's your baby. You grew this baby for 9 months, and then the next minute you're being parted. You just literally get a few hours and then your baby gets taken. How I would nurse is completely different now. When you have your baby, you just need your baby, not someone always standing over you and doing things for you. So it was just the privacy they gave us, which was, it was lovely. So this time round, even though it wasn't your normal birth, just to have that first few hours together made a huge difference.
My name is Bethany, and I have extremely bad allergies to everything which is basically in a hospital. So everything that's cleaned in a hospital, I'm allergic to. I think it was my 30-week consultant appointment. I was made aware that I would be having to have Noah in Southampton General rather at Princess Anne, and that following my allergy team's advice, I would need to have a stay in intensive care. There was further meetings needed to be put in place around the logistics, around what was going to happen with Noah, whether he was going to be able to stay or go back, and when I was going to go back to Princess Anne. on the day of Noah's birth. They started to get Noah out, which was really good. He was checked over by neonatal and absolutely fine. And when I was wheeled into recovery, this is where it started to get a bit difficult. I really struggled being able to latch Noah on because I wanted to breastfeed. And before he left, I wanted to ensure that I got that skin-to-skin contact. And the recovery nurses rushed that experience. So I didn't get that long with Noah outside of theatre. I only got 30 minutes when I was promised 4 hours. My midwife was my biggest advocate. She was trying her hardest to be able for us to stay longer with Noah, but they just weren't having it. They said that they called ITU and that I needed to go up there. And they said no, Noah wasn't able to come to ITU because of the risk of infection that was present on the unit, which I completely understand. I didn't want my new baby to be put at risk. So Bradley, my partner, and Noah had to go straight over to Princess Anne with the midwife. So everything that had been agreed and that was promised was then not allowed. So I was a fresh mum, just got out of theatre 30 minutes ago with no baby, and I wasn't allowed anyone there, which was the most heartbreaking experience. And I think also when I look back, I had actually detached from the fact I was having a baby. I didn't have that emotion that I had with my daughter when I first had her, because I knew I wasn't going to be with my baby. So I kind of put up this brick wall. And then when I got back at Princess Anne in the morning and I got in the room and my baby wasn't in there. So I was a bit like, oh my goodness, I thought my baby would be waiting in the room. But the minute I got to see him, it was so overwhelming. All those fears, I didn't think about them once when he was back with me, which was really nice. Everything from start to finish with Princess Anne was incredible. I just think from Southampton side, there's a lot of learning to help make mothers feel a bit less lonely, and completely agree that our babies can't always be with us, but there's other things that could be looked at to try and help us as well in that really horrible time.